I've lost my heroes. I didn't even realize I was using them. I'm not exactly a follower, which is a good thing, because people tend to get creeped out when I follow them. I've never had idols or icons or role models, but there were people I looked up to, and most of them have spent the last few years proving they never really deserved that honor. You see, I'm a skeptic. Because of that, I'm also an atheist. I also always subscribe to the general idea that justice matters, and that an equitable society was an efficient and happy society. So the skepticism and atheism dance merrily hand in hand with the desire for social justice. Thus, the priests and cardinals of the atheist and skeptic societies were the men I admired. Yes, just men, which should have been a clue, but wasn't. At the time I was white. I'm still white, but I was then too. But then I was also, as far as I could tell, straight, educated, upper-middle-class, cisgendered, and living in a city that was almost completely white. I was a card-carrying member of the JREF, proud to wear the Pegasus watch bullshit, and treat every encounter with credulous or religious people as an opportunity to lace my fingers across my big white belly and laugh until I got a sprain in my sense of superiority. But then, out of nowhere, things happened. The fastest 10 years in history zoomed by, and now my formerly hetero-wealthy ethnic supermajority self is none of those things. And with these changes came a whole slew of new experiences and perspectives, and one big one is this. A lot of the leaders of the skeptic movement are dicks. The fact that Penn Jillette is a dick surprised nobody. Half his career is based on being a dick. That the late Christopher Hitchens was also a dick is no surprise either, since arrogance was his stock in trade. But another one was a surprise. Such a huge surprise that I feel downright betrayed. Let me back up. There's been an issue, a huge, throbbing, scandalous issue called Elevator Gate, overshadowing the atheist and skeptic communities over the course of the last couple of years. It began when some guy had the genius idea to hit on a girl at 4 a.m. when they met in an elevator, which probably would have gone unnoticed, except that the girl was Skeptic founder Rebecca Watson, who shortly thereafter posted a video in which she said, "Don't do that," because it was creepy and made her feel objectified. And that's all she had to say about that, and there it might have ended, except for one man's attempt to put out a tiny flame with jet fuel. Richard Dawkins was someone I really looked up to, who came crashing down off his pedestal instantly because of his dismissal and condescension about Elevator Gate and the ongoing reaction from the feminist side of the skeptics and atheist movements. He wrote a now infamous open letter starting "Dear Muslima," in which he sarcastically told a non-existent foreign lady to stop complaining about her horrific problems because being hit on and the like was so much worse, and in doing so he belittled half of the world's population, committed several logical fallacies, and even topped off his delicious sundae of privilege with fresh whipped racism. And this is what opened Pandora's box. Watson and Dawkins together kicked over the rock that much of the skeptic movement was hiding under, and revealed the squirming mass of horrible things that large swaths of the movement believe. Among them, that women are not as capable as men, that victims of sexual assault were asking for it, even that throwing acid at someone is a reasonable response to them saying things you don't want to hear. This raises the question, am I asking too much? None of these people build themselves as anything other than atheists and skeptics. Was it wrong of me to expect better of them than to have only one hot button? Only one justice issue they cared about at all and to let everything else rot? Did I overstep the bounds of sensibility by supposing that people whose avowed life's goal was the spread of reason and logic would have applied these to their own perspectives and realized how many of the things they said were so very wrong to those who weren't just like them? Maybe. Possibly. But mostly, no. Skepticism is all about examining our own views and prejudices as well as real-world phenomena, because people are fallible. We make mistakes. We build up prejudices and biases like a candy on the floor builds up fluff. And it is incumbent on us to turn the lens on ourselves and really understand what it is we're saying and doing, and what repercussions that might have if people were to believe us. If this is the true nature of the atheist movement as I knew it, if the famous and not-so-famous leaders of the skeptics can't be bothered to understand what they're doing in the broader context of the world we all live in, then I'll have none of either, thank you, shopkeep. I'll take my science and godlessness with a side of social justice and decency, or else I won't bother to order anything. And I know I'm not alone in this. There is a series of schisms dividing those communities which are even now not only breaking but splintering the groups. I only hope that the new movements bubbling up from the cracks will succeed and give me a skepticism I can be proud of, because we need a movement. We need a path forward in the face of the people who deny reality for political gain. We need the skepticism I thought we had back before my own privilege blinders were burnt off. I dread to think of what kind of future lies ahead if we don't get it.